project has not delivered.
What is the question?
The project has not been delivered. Effectively, there is a flaw in the project management process because of which the commodity that you got, you cannot test it immediately. You tested it with the course of time where you became a victim by the process of testing, and by the time you develop certain diseases, certain some pains. So now, how the service can? You are going even how effective the service, they can mend the tears. They cannot mend your pain and your disease, right?
I apologize, but I think we are getting back to the same point again.
Excuse me, can we just consider the IT examples, please?
And no, let's see. I'm sorry.
One minute. Hold on. The topic does not say IT. That's what I was reading. So I read this topic first, then I took the exam.
I know service management is usually applicable to IT application, but yes. Let me move this debate forward. I think both of us have stood firm on our topics about the
So we agree now that both are required, and somewhere.
That's what I said. Both are required.
Thank you.
But let me first move this debate a little bit ahead. I just want to point that.
I'm sorry. The same example what he quoted about the chair is not done, the project management is not done. As a client, do you accept that chair?
As a client,
you or the user, do you accept that defective chair?
I think this ties into what Mr. Agarwal just had a point about whether you will have a service desk or service help for all kind of applications. Do you expect me to call up a call center for complaining about a chair?
Hey, first of all, do you accept that default faulty chair?
That's what. If you have, first of all, accepted the delivery of a faulty chair, or live with that. Exactly, you have to live with that to some extent.
One thing, sir. Let me put it. A user sometimes is naive. He doesn't know the technicalities of the thing he is going to use. I don't know this silicon glass, what are the things it will make
User themselves have defined the scope, what is required.
And isn't that the responsibility of the project manager to ensure that all stakeholders are taken care of? TMP, Business Area 1?
No, yes, it is. We agree.
Then isn't your customer your first stakeholder?
No, see. We agree that project management is essential and integral part. From my perspective, I put it more strongly. From your perspective, you put the other way around.
With your permission,
eventually,
with your permission, moving this debate forward, I think both of us are basically
yes.
the same points. Let me just explore this topic a little bit more. It says project management is more important than service management. And I think looking at the way the jury has come up with some questions, I'll not take too long, just take a minute. This can also be a topic which you could look at from the perspective of the different stakeholders within the company. If you're looking at a PMO group which is involved in delivery of projects, maybe project management is the only thing that they're concerned with. If you're looking at a particular client services group who are basically dealing with client requests, for them, service delivery is the most important thing in the organization. So the answers to this question would probably change on what is the basic nature of your organization. If you are only a build, operate and transfer company, maybe project management is the only thing which you need to worry about, which probably should have been your argument. On the other hand, if you are an end-to-end assigned project implementation company, you basically need to worry about both the things. On the other hand, if you're basically a BPO operator operating a call center, you just need to worry about service management. I think we need to worry about the basic argument about what is important, rather than saying one is important than both.
We need to worry about both in their respective perspectives, right?
So that's what I was hoping for, that this entire discussion will conclude with the point that you cannot essentially say that either project management or service management is important, one is more important than the other. You have to look at the kind of organization you're working with. In most cases, in an end-to-end implementation at a holistic level, from the user perspective, both are equally important. But if your business itself doesn't require you to do service delivery, you're a very lucky man.
Yeah, we have two eyes, we can't say which one is more important. Right? I think we can conclude. Yeah, it's relevant. Both are the two eyes which helps you to walk through the success. Limitation. I cannot understand the whole thing. Help me understand in a one single line here. A clear cut question.
Okay. I understand that. ठीक है? आप आम खरीदने गए. ठीक है? I'm giving you a simple scenario now because we are out of debate. It's just discussion going on. ठीक है? So we went to buy mangoes in the market. We got the mangoes, but the mangoes were not good. Okay? You said, I don't want these mangoes. These are not good because there is some issue with it. So the person who was selling that said, sir, just wait for a couple of minutes. I would get new mangoes. By the time I would ensure that I arrange a rickshaw for you in which you can carry those. So it is a middle level of service management which he is doing to ensure that the customer is retained, and by that time he also gets new mangoes from the inside of his store. Similarly, a scenario is a good product management will lead to a product. It might be having bugs. If those bugs are not fixed on time, by the time new product is launched, people will leave. People will lose their faith in the product and will be out of market. So sometimes, even after effective product management, if effective IT service management is not in place, things will be of no use. So, am I clear of the scenario which I have given to both of you?
Let me go first. Thankfully, my question was shorter, so it was very clear.
I know.
Yeah.
Zafar, am I able to make my point? Yeah, thank you.
The point which you raised, actually something which I tried addressing when I was speaking also, that you don't need a very extensive service management in all scenarios. Suppose you have a bug-free product, your service support will actually get only information request, where you can only just forward a manual and that should be enough. And that is what I was saying also. I think Mr. Agrawal's point was also exactly that. That your service management or your service delivery for that matter depends on what kind of work that you're doing. As you yourself pointed out in the second question, that delivering a bug-free product or delivering something which goes exactly as you plan is possibly not going to happen very often, at least. I'm sure it must happen somewhere, but not very often. So it's always safe to give the users a chance to ask a question, and that is why not having service delivery, not having service management is not an option.
Okay, in your mango example, I still see lots of service management thing, but I see God is a project management here.
Zafar,
Hold on.
Project management only mangoes, it is for making simpler to use.
Let me understand.
Take the Apple scenario.
Apple scenario, understand. Service
So
management, we did not negate the importance of relevance of service management. We both of us accept, didn't we? Ashish, sorry, I'm sorry. Didn't we accept that both are relevant?
No, you have to be differentiated from each other. Don't, be on a common point. I don't want neutral answer.
No, yes. One thing. Failure of the project management processes or service management process cannot always be. Remember, cannot always be set as the process failure. Sometimes your hiring is a mistake. Right? So you put wrong people to implement something which is right, which is process, everything is aligned, and you need to question your hiring as well. Why you are banking upon the people involved are effective, efficient, and they are capable? They may not be able to put the things the way they are supposed to be. Right? So yes, there may be the flaws in the project management as well, which may lead to the dissatisfaction, where service management can take care by its efficiency, effectiveness, and relevance. Thank you.
So you still have a neutral point on that?
Sorry?
So you still have a neutral point on that?
want to
Both
fo-
of them are important.
Right? No, I agree to your point. I'm just saying in connection with what you said.
Yes.
I have a very generic basic question. When do you start thinking of anything in terms of a service? Do I think about service once the product is out, or do I think about service at the strategic decision making stage? At what stage do you start about thinking a service point of view?
Okay.
At what stage?
It's a straight question. I would like to answer straightly. At both places, we start. At least I would start thinking. But relevance and the more rigorous thinking would take into shape when the product has been delivered. A strategic point of view, yes, we would start thinking the relevance post-delivery and we would do the implementation. But more rigorous thinking and more focus onto that once the product has been rolled out.
So are you agreeing that I start thinking about the service as well as product during a strategic planning phase? There is a point in time when my project management phase would stop, and then service management phase will continue taking it forward. So if I understand the life cycle from a project management point of view and service management point of view, the service management life cycle keeps running, it doesn't end. And project management life cycle has a finite end. Right? That way, is it okay to conclude that service management will encompass the project management life cycle? If I may say that, is it really okay to conclude that way?
I will
Your
phrase it
opinion?
a little bit differently. Even though I understand what you're driving at and agree with the basic concept, I'll phrase it a little bit differently. all project decisions or application decisions essentially depend on something which we all know as ROI or IRR.
The thinking of ROI is in service or is in product?
Let me just complete on this point. When you talk about the total cost of ownership of any application, you not only include the cost of delivering the project, but the cost of maintaining that application over a period of time also. So when you have taken the decision to go ahead, even at that point of time itself, we also thought about to some extent that what will be the cost of servicing this application once it goes out into production. So my point will be, saying that it encompasses project management might seem offensive to some, might seem agreeable to some, so I will not go into that direction, but I'll definitely say that both of them run in parallel. Project management will end at some point, but service management will continue. They might not be completely encompassing each other, but they'll definitely be.
There can be an intersection.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I would like to have a clarity on what is the end point on the service management. Like we have, what is the end point on project management lifecycle? What is the end point?
I think it ends, as you see, in the service lifecycle, it ends with continuous service improvement. So when you have words like continuous.
So continual service improvement doesn't end. I mean, you keep on improving till the time you retire the product or service.
Correct.
So when you retire a product, then you start on. You are already thinking about launching a new product. That's why you will retire a product. Because if you retire a product without planning a new product to be launched, you have stopped your revenue. And if you stop your revenue, only in the case of shutting down the business, you will stop the service management.
Right, or the product becomes irrelevant for some reason. I
So
agree with that. That is what I'm saying.
Still, you will think about a new product which needs to be brought to the market, right?
I think both of us in this are saying the same thing. What I'm saying is, as long as you have a product that needs to be supported, service management will apply. If you're thinking about even replacing it with another product, some element of service management strategy will start happening in parallel with the existing service lifecycle itself. So I don't think we are basically saying two different things at all. All I'm saying is that project management will end at some point in the life cycle of the product, while the service management part will continue for a longer duration.
So Ashish, from your point of view, when do you start thinking about service management? Is it at the strategy levels or after the product?
I will say it is at the strategy level itself. What is the point of developing something which cannot be supported? In some cases, even the design decision of a product will be defined by how well it can be supported in the long run. So I will say that even when you start thinking of a new product or an application for an organization, you have to think about how many roles it has.
That's exactly what Chandesh was saying.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So I think the same.
So one thing, what you were saying, your question was when would we end the service?
Service management.
Just to add, see, as an organization or the people at the strategic level who looks for the idea is to drive more business, more money, right? So try to focus on the things. You are developing a business, you are running a service efficiently. Try to make a business out of it and create another win, which can get into another project, another chain of service, because this has reached a certain stability level. You need to come out of it to create a new avenues to new revenue, and then use excellent service delivery or management can give birth to new projects, which would again the reason for more GM, more revenues. So this is how I would like to end any existing services.
No, I think I'm not saying end of product and end of service. I am saying end of management life cycle. So project management life cycle is finite. So service management life cycle will keep running throughout the life. Yes. There is no end to a service management life cycle. That is what we are doing. Okay, that is the conclusion. Thanks. Thank you.
Any more questions? I think we can. Let's have a conclusion. We can wind up.